You legit said to someone, "You're not canon."
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
So basically, you're one of these people that like has tried to remove himself
From both sides of the Star Wars fandom.
from both sides.
Yes.
Okay.
But I just dipped my foot back in and joined a book club.
You did.
Yes.
Now, is this person like from the book club
yes.
or they're from so even
there's like 48 people, 38 people in the book club.
So even when you try to like dip your foot back in, like you're like dipping your toe in, you're like, is it too cold?
You got yelled at by the moderator though.
Oh yeah. But isn't the book that you guys are reading in
There's two books that we're reading. There's a Legends book and then there's a canon book. I've already read the canon book not that long ago, so I didn't need to read it again. I can still participate in the chat about it.
What's happening, everybody?
What's happening?
Okay.
What's happening Friday?
This is just such an impromptu thing. Like literally I was laughing my ass off about something he said to someone online and he told me about it. And I was just like, I hit record. I was like, we just jumped right into it. I hope you don't mind.
No. I didn't know though.
You didn't know? No, I just jumped right into it. It's like, this is gold in here. This is what I'm talking about. Like people actually getting to like find out like what we talk about when we're not like planning anything.
I hope he didn't get kicked out of the group though, because I mean like he was kind of a snob, but you can teach them.
All you said was you're not canon.
Yeah.
After he ragged on you for
yes
liking something that was not canon.
Right.
I think if they kick you out for that, it's the most.
No.
It's the
kick him out.
Oh,
I'm not kicked out.
Okay, I was gonna say like if they were going to kick you out for that, like that was the most hilarious kick out I've ever heard of.
No, they're not kicking me out. They might kick him out, I guess.
Well,
he's been a snot to like other people too.
It's just kind of like talking about the whole idea of like, because when you came in here and you told me about it, you're like, I just handed something to some kid, you know, and I'm thinking like it's some 10-year-old that wandered his way onto Twitter, you know, like. And you're like, no, he's like 20.
Yeah, the kid.
Yeah, but like, you're just sitting there like, man, I was, you know, I just said I liked a Legends book, and he was like, that's not canon.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing.
And I was like, you're not canon. And I just thought I don't know if you guys are listening to this and you're finding this hilarious. I found it hilarious because you have to also, like, you can't see this. Because we're doing, it's just an audio show, but like his face, he's like, you're not canon.
You're not canon.
And I was just like, you know what? That's like, guys, don't use this because I'm trademarking this right now. If he ever does a podcast, I want his podcast to be called "You're Not Canon." But no, like it's this idea of gatekeeping people.
Yeah, it happens a lot on there's a lot of toxic positivity.
But the thing is like the toxic positivity is almost a little bit better than like toxic negativity.
They're both bad.
You have their bad points.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I
got people that strictly just like the EU. You got people that strictly just like canon. You got people like me that make up their own headcanon.
Yeah.
We a mixture of both.
Oh, so you try really hard not to like gatekeep those people, and they just gatekeep you sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, really? How about I tell you exactly everything you don't know, and then just.
I mean, Star Wars is my jam. I know quite a bit about it.
Yeah, if you're ever in a situation where you happen to be in his presence, like, and you like, hey, a trivia night for Star Wars breaks out. You want Joe on your team. You want Bizarro Fett on your team. Because there's stuff like I feel like I really like Star Wars, you know, but like meeting him was like you don't even know. But like I created the name officially unofficial geek because of gatekeeping, as you know.
Yes.
And like we just recently on the channel had our 3rd year anniversary a couple days ago.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, wow.
I haven't done anything really officially for it yet, and I'm thinking about it, but like we've been doing this for 3 years.
Cool.
Over 3 years, because officially unofficial geek started as a podcast.
Did it really?
Remember that?
I don't.
No, because it was like everybody.
It did start on the pandemic times because I tried to block out the pandemic times.
Yeah. A lot of it was early on in the pandemic, and there was no, like, I felt like there was nothing happening. Like I was like screaming out into the ether and no one was like listening. Like, I think the most anyone listened was like you from the next room.
Yeah.
And like, then I was like, I'll do YouTube. And, I mean, more people listened.
Yeah, man, your numbers are getting up past what they were. So, I mean,
they are. I think there's an algorithm, and I don't mean like the YouTube algorithm. Like, yes, that's a fucking factor. Yeah. Okay. But I think there's an algorithm, like figuratively to this. Like, I've noticed, like, when I'm able to like spit out my reviews quickly.
Yeah.
If it's less than an hour, those numbers are climbing. Okay. But if it's even just over an hour, like, the numbers are not as they should be.
I'm going to tell you something for me. Like, when I look up a subject on YouTube, you see me look them up all the time. If it's 15 minutes, that's cool, man. If it's 20 minutes, that's cool. But once it starts going over like 50 minutes, I'm like, I don't have the attention span really to watch that. Which I'm learning with movies now too. Yeah.
And you have to imagine, like, the that's most people.
Yeah.
That's most people. And, like, the people that are watching I'm finding out that those are the people that are always, like, collectively mentioning that they're watching. Like, you get regular commenters. You get regular people, like, commenting on your stuff. They're watching. They're listening to at least a good portion of it.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that are like that. And then you get the people that surprise you because they never comment. They're just a view. Right? And then they comment on your reviews in the middle of nowhere. They like shout you out in the middle of their broadcast. Nice. Or they talk about you in the chats, the live chats. And you're just like, oh wait, oh shit, you're watching me? Like, you saw that shit? But I think that the officially unofficial geek, that despite the fact that people have a hard time still saying it, is because of gatekeeping. I felt that, like, there were times where people, and you've seen it, where people treat me differently in certain arenas and that kind of thing because they don't think that I know as much as I do, or they seem really freaking surprised when I do know as much as I do. We've been in shops where you've been like, don't ask me, she's the...
I just read them.
I just read the comics. She's the one that knows all this shit. Because when I get obsessed with something, I just dive in.
I mean, I know stuff about comics. I just don't know as much as you about comics.
No, yeah. Like, let's be real here. You do know your way around shit. Okay? But, like, when people have been like... It's like that moment, like, oh, fuck. It's like that moment years ago. I was going to buy my first car. Okay? And my dad comes with me to look, and everybody is talking to him.
Yeah.
Or if I all of a sudden have knowledge about something, and I start asking questions, and I start talking with people, they're like, okay, whatever. And then they go back to my dad.
I've seen like that before, too, like with my ex and stuff like that. And we'll be together, and like somebody would start talking to me about fucking tattoos, and I'm like, dude, bro,
she's the one.
She knows more than anyone I know.
Your ex, I mean, I've seen her work. She is somebody that should be getting a lot more attention than I think she does. You should be hearing a lot more about her name in that industry. There's a few women that you should be hearing their names a lot more in that industry
Yes.
than certain other people that somehow got TV shows.
Yep.
But no, like there's one time, I swear to God, like during the whole like shopping excursion for a car, like we go to a used car place, my dad and me, and like first off, like I'm looking at this car because I researched it ahead of time, and I had no idea, knowing it had been there so long, and shit you not, they go to give me the keys to do a test drive.
Yeah.
It won't start. The car won't start, okay?
Was it the battery?
Yeah. They charged it up and I was able to take it for a spin, but it was one of those things where it's like, I don't know what's going on under the hood. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know why the battery was drained. I don't know if there's a alternator situation, because the car I was looking at was, old enough for it to be a situation. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if it was an alternator situation, belt of a serpentine belt, something like that. And which is all words that typical people, if they're spouting them off and they're saying them, people don't know, but some people do. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I was like, well, I want to know what's wrong with it. If you're going to be asking this price, which is above not a book value.
Wow. Really? It was above... Man, I wouldn't have bought
it. I wanted to be like, does it make nachos while I'm driving so I can like eat nachos or tacos? Like, because if it's not gonna start and it's above not a book value, what's the deal? Like, what's really going on here? And he's like, oh, it is above not a book value. Oh, it is? Oh, it is? Like, I had no idea how to read. Like, I had no idea how to read. He's like, no, this is nothing. This is nothing. Nothing's wrong. Like...
fuck you.
And, like... Oh, no. And I found that, like, a lot of times it was, like... When I bought the car that I have now, is before I met you, okay? I was like, okay, I took our friend with us. And he was like, I'm just going to sit there. I was like, that's all I want you to do. All I want you to do is sit there and nod and smile at regular intervals. And because I'm the one making the deals, I'm the one, doing all that. And so like, and then when I'm getting more and more into like different things and we're going to these shops and like, we're learning more and more about it. And I started noticing, like, over the years, people have told me, I have tried to tell me I didn't know about music. And I do. That I didn't know about books, and I do. That I didn't know about comics, and I do. They tried to be like, name a character that Stan Lee created, or something asinine like that. Like, they think they're going to trip me up.
Name a green Star Wars character.
Jackson.
Yeah, all right. I was trying to trip you up so you would say Yoda.
I could have also said
Yoda, but
I could have said Yoda. I could have said Jackson. I could have said Hera Syndulla. I could have said Yaddle. I could have said any of those. Mm-hmm. Tell me why for like a moment I sat there, and I know damn well he's not fucking green, but my mind, my mouth knew I needed to say Jackson. Mm-hmm. That was what you were looking for. That was the take we were looking for. But like my mouth wanted to say Jackson, but for some reason, because we were talking about him like a couple days ago, I wanted to say Jar Jar Binks.
He's not green.
He's not green. He's not green by a long shot. But what did I tell you? I told you to go ahead and like you shouldn't gatekeep people, but when somebody gatekeeps you, you should gatekeep them right back.
Nah, that just makes you as bad as them.
Well, I still think,
I don't like doing it.
Yeah. I love it when
I used to like doing it. I used to like getting into just stupid little, spats on the internet. Now I don't.
I'm just fucking too old for it now.
It's not that. It stresses me out. I get like real life stress from it.
Somebody got to me the other day, as you know. Somebody got to me the other day.
The other day?
The other day. Like, you know about it. We were talking about it earlier today. About how somebody was trying to classify what an author was.
Yeah, that's right.
And those of you that are not aware, I'm also a writer. I've written 3 volumes and self-published 3 volumes of poetry. Currently in the middle of writing comic book script, a couple of them. And right now, more actively, I'm working on a novel. And somebody made, we won't go into the whole long explanation about something, but they were hating on someone that was an author and a writer of a comic book. And I call them authors. They're creators and they're authors as well.
Yeah.
And so they're like, what? They write like 20 words and the other person that worked on it wrote another 20. Does that make them an author? And I lost it on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you motherfucker.
Indeed it does.
Indeed it does. No, when especially when it's someone that I can't tell any reason to think, like, why are you making these statements? I can't even, like, phantom them, you know? Like, yes, of course they're a fucking author. But, I don't know. I think don't gatekeep people.
No, but stupid. So dumb.
Yeah. So the name, Officially Unofficial Geek, was born out of that idea. Don't gatekeep people. Because she's officially unofficial a geek.
I did not know that, or maybe I knew it and I forgot it.
I think I've told you before, but it's not something that you would have needed to register to like long-term knowledge, like, because she's officially unofficial. She's an unofficial officially geek or some, that kind of concept. Mm-hmm. Like, are you really a geek? Well, yes, I am. And that was the concept that it came from.
I'm a dweeb.
You're a dweeb?
Yeah.
You're officially unofficial dweeb?
Yeah. I'm sleazoid, a dweeb.
A nerf herder.
A righteous dude.
He's a righteous dude. They all love him. They think he's a righteous dude.
That's it. That's all
I could be the walrus, but I'd still have to bum rides from everyone.
I love that movie.
2 imaginary points in the chat, or not in the chat, in the comments. You can tell us what movie all that just came from. That means you don't answer it.
I
But anyways, I figured we hadn't done a episode of what's happening in a bit, and that was a perfect opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it like what do you think? Do you think people are just deal with it, or like
what? For what?
Gatekeepers in general?
I don't know. I just think they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about most of the time, and it makes them feel good. And then if it makes them feel good, I guess do it. Actually, don't. It makes you look like an asshole. But
it makes you it may feel good. It's like
some people like to feel good by being an asshole. I've learned that.
Yeah. I can see that. I think that some people like to feel good by being an asshole, but I think that has lasting ramifications for the person that's being an asshole. Mm-hmm. And they're not good.
I mean, I used to be an asshole all the time, and that didn't make me feel good.
Did it ever make you feel good, like in the moment, like what you're saying? Sometimes a little bit.
Sometimes being an asshole does feel good. I'm not going to lie to you.
But lasting effects.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I guess not.
It's not good. It's like the whole like drug rush. Like, it feels pretty good in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, no. You're
Well,
hungover.
It makes you feel really good. It's really awesome.
But you're...
Do drugs, kids.
Oh, do not do drugs, kids.
I ain't dare. Do what you want.
I believe in informed influence here. You know, like know what shit's gonna do approximately before you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to know, because like there's this scene in Just Like That, the sequel series to Sex and the City.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, where oh God, what's her name? Charlotte. She has 2 teenage girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one of the teenage girls invites people over for an anti-Valentine's Day celebration, and one of the girls' friends brought, air quotes, brownies.
All right.
And Charlotte is like, I love brownies. And she's like, oh, I'm going to have some brownies. And she had like 2 brownies.
Oh, man.
Before going out with her husband for Valentine's Day. And then they're in the middle waiting for their table. And all of a sudden she is having the body effects of a ingested marijuana high.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. So, but she has no idea that she had done this. Like, she's just like, oh, so they go to the hospital. They think she's having a stroke. Okay. And they're like, heart attack, stroke, whatever. Because they're in their 50s, you know, and it could happen. And she's just like, they're like, well, we gave you a drug test and your levels, or we gave you a blood test to figure out what was going on. You're not having a heart attack, you're not having a stroke, but your THC levels are elevated. And she had no clue. She had no clue what to expect because she didn't know.
What is the point, though, of this?
What's the point of all this?
Yeah.
We're just talking shit, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, like, are you trying to be anti-marijuana?
Absolutely not. You know better than that. Jeez. No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying being anti-drug. No. I'm saying if you're going to do something, know it. Know what you're getting yourself into.
Or, hear me out. Just do it.
Well, I say knowing is
half the battle?
Yes.
Well, guess what the other half of the battle is?
Experiencing it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like everybody's experience is going to be different on a lot of these things. But I think that having an idea of like a spectrum of what to expect is probably better than not having one.
I'm all for like just sporadically doing things.
And where has that gotten you?
Where hasn't it gotten me?
Where hasn't it gotten you?
The moon.
The moon.
But goddamn, you could feel like you're on the moon. 3 gummies. Yeah.
For reals. Anyways, guys. I think we can just end it there.
Alright, drugs are fun. Do them if you want. Don't do them.
Don't do them. Don't do them if you don't want to. Don't feel like you have to.
Don't feel pressured.
You are cool with or without them. That's the ticket. There we go. That's the message we convey. If you wanna, try it. This is our pointers. You know what you're getting into. I say, know what you're getting into. Do some research. Bizarro Fett here is just like, hey, experience is research. And
I'm like Nike, man. Just do it.
But also, don't feel obligated if you don't want to. There we go.
Yeah.
That's the best message for that part of our conversation.
We were just talking about Star Wars and it became an anti-drug commercial or something.
I don't think this qualifies as anti-drug at all.
Jesus, it's like the fucking 80s here, Nancy.
I don't think this qualifies as anti-drug at all because we are sitting there saying, go ahead and do it. Just know what you're getting into. That's not anti-drug.
Okay.
That's responsible.
Yeah.
Drug use. Some people can do it.
Hmm?
Some people cannot.
Mm-mm.
We call those people addicts.
Let's not judge people like that, though.
No. I'm not judging people.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
I don't judge people. I've never judged anyone for being an addict, and even at any time in my life, even before I knew anyone that was.
All right.
Because that is not my place to judge anyone like that.
Okay.
But I know plenty of people that do.
Yeah, me too.
But anyways, that's it. That's all for us today. That was fun.
Remember, don't gatekeep. Do drugs. And I
read
think
comics.
There was something else we talked about. Oh, yeah, maybe watch Sex in the City. I don't know.
Hey, you enjoyed the few episodes you watched of it. We do have programming on this channel where you admitted
I liked it.
To having liked some of what you watched. It was a very
funny show. What I watched was very funny.
Yeah.
Like, the movie was pretty funny. And then you made me watch like 3 episodes. Them were funny, too.
I think I actually made you watch like 4.
That were funny.
Yeah.
And then I've seen parts of And Just Like That.
Yeah. Well, it was that show that actually like convinced you to be like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. You know, I'll try it again because I've tried watching it before and it did not work out for me.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's about it for us now. We hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something,
say something.
Say something. And remember, the complacent never make a difference. So go out there in 2024 and make a difference. Until next time, we'll be seeing ya.
Oh my God,
Bye-bye.
it's 2024.